Hi, Maria with the Amateur Crafter. Today I am doing a start to finish on print then cut on the Siser Juliet. I am no way an expert on the Juliet. I am still brand new on it. I'm doing this because I didn't see a start to finish, and so you're going to see all my mistakes while we do this. And I hope that I can teach you something along the way. First things first, do make sure your calibration is set correctly. Swift Creek Customs has some great videos. I totally recommend them here on YouTube. I'll link them in the description below. But watch their videos for the calibration. You can watch their print and cut videos. I won't be offended. She does an awesome job. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember her name? But she does a great job. Oops, my microphone's messed up. Hold on, let me fix that. I hope you could hear everything I said. Anyways, Swift Creek Customs does a great job on all their print and cut videos, but I see there's a space that's not exactly shown here, so I'm going to show that. Enough of that, let's get into the software. So let's go ahead and get our print and cut set up. So I'm going to go ahead and click the design button. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up our cut. So I'm going to do my cutting mat and expand it. And it's going to be a print and cut job. And I'm going to set it as a US letter because that's how big my sticker sheets are. And that's all correct. So I do want to put the page marks on there because that tells me how big I can print, the scan marks for the print and cut. The artboard is just showing this other area, but I like to squish that up so I can see all my layers and stuff. So let's bring in some images. These are all requests. Actually, do you know what? Let's look in the library for one image in particular real quick. Obviously, I don't use this as much. I want to search for a bear. See if there is a bear in the library. Maybe I'll use my tokens and do Leonardo Apprentice. Oh, that's cute. There's a curiosity bear. So there's lots of bears in here. What kind of bear? Should we just do a bear face? This is just a little, about a 1 inch by 1 inch sticker. Actually, I didn't even grab my master, but I think that's about the size of it. I like this Winnie the Pooh knockoff, so we're gonna go ahead and do that one. So that should import it. So this is going to actually be, like I said, 1 inch by 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and resize it down to about 1 inch. And I'm going to build the offsets for it. I'm going to make sure that it's exactly 1 inch just because I'm weird. So I'm going to click that over there. You know what? Let me go grab my blank, my master, and see how big this size this is supposed to be. My blank, my master. So it's actually a headset case for some Google Pixel headsets, and my dear husband always, his sticker keeps on coming off. So it is just about 1 inch wide and about 1.5 inches tall. So we can make this a little bit bigger. But with the offsets, it's gonna be a little bit better. And I wanna take off the curiosity. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see how I can edit this image. Let's go. There's space the objects, we're arranging the objects. I want to like crop the picture. Cut origin, build contours, draw, eraser tools. Whole eraser, slice brush, maybe this will work. I should have kept it big if I was going to pull off these letters. And I could zoom in too. Let's click on the zoom. Zoom mode. Obviously, again, I don't know what I'm doing in this program. Well, that's okay. So here's the eraser tools. I think this one's the eraser tool, the knife tool, the whole eraser, and the slice. Let's try just the eraser tool. Let's bring this size down a little bit. Maybe I need to square. Oh, okay, so that's a square, and then I can make it a line. Select. It's gonna select my, oh, I can select each of those letters and delete it. Boom! Okay, that's even easier. Still should have made this bigger. Oh, I'm making the, so that select tool was each layer, and we wanted to do the whole thing. So I said an inch wide, so let's bring it, make it an inch wide over in our other one. Oops, I didn't want to move that. And I actually, in Design Space, Cricut Design Space, sorry, that's what the software I'm used to, it's flattened the image, and I can't remember how to do that same sort of thing here in Leonardo Design Pro. But there's something that I have to do to make that happen. Is that this? Do I have to change it to a print? Because this is a shape, these are all shapes. But it does say default print. Those are the page marks. Maybe if I select them all and make them a print. Oh, those are all the shapes. Those are all kinds of different shapes. Okay, I wonder if I can select them all except for the page marks, which I pressed Control and set those to print. So we want to actually just print. It says default print, so that's probably correct. Okay, so let's try and build the cut layers. So build contours. So this is a print and cut logo, which is correct. And I do want to leave the white edge around it. I do not want to include the holes, and I do want to do a die cut. Let me make this smaller so I can see the whole thing. Offset amount, there we go. So I always do it until it looks good, but usually 0.01 is, or I'm sorry, 0.1 is a really big cut mark. Like if you did a 0.25, that would be a quarter of an inch, so that's plenty big. And in this case, that's really big, so 0.075 is what, oh, that just rounds up. So let's actually bring it down. A little bit, 0.05. Okay, so let's apply that. There we go. Now it says it's doing a die cut group. Let's see. So select die cut lines. And we want that a solid line, otherwise it would do a dashed line. So I think that's okay. I think that's okay. We'll find out. Okay, let's bring in some other items. The husband asked for, or the husband, the child, oops. Oops, I'm not going to be able to do that one. So let's go ahead and save this image as, I wonder if it's a WebP. Okay, so this one's a PNG. So we'll insert, well actually, so I'm going to save all of my images first. Let me show you what I'm doing. So what I did is right-clicked on the image, save image as, and then it was a PNG, so I'm going to save it like that. This one, I'm going to right-click, save image as. This is going to be a low-res picture, which is just fine. Hopefully it's a PNG as well. It is, and so that's the logo, so we're going to just save it there in my pictures folder. Again, these are only for personal use. Don't be stealing licenses for, if you're going to sell these, that's not right. Okay, so this one's a JPEG, so we'll have to do some editing with that one, but that's fine. We can figure that out. So it looks like a ping. This one's a ping because it has this checkerboard background. So that's good. Or it's a WebP, one of the two. There we go. And one more. Oh, that's the other one. But I need the other one that he sent me. So let me grab that. It'll take a second. Sorry about the wait. Okay. Okay, and let's go insert these pictures. So we go to File and Import. And we're going to import this one first. And it's a print then cut. And the mask tolerance is probably just fine. I'm just looking on the image to make sure it looks right, and it does. So I'm going to click next. If I needed to modify it at all, then we would. I am not going to include holes just to get a better image. So I'm going to click next on that one. And then this is the offset. On the other one, I did a 0.15, but look, this uses a different scheme. So what I'm looking for when I'm doing this offset is like this area is lots of little close cuts. So I'm probably going to try and get that all one piece so that it doesn't have to do a lot of tiny cuts in there. And maybe this right here have it all one piece. And the offset isn't that bad yet. So, I mean, it's not that bad as in that big. So, yeah, see how they all just went away? Now I've got this one and this one that are almost big enough. I was really trying to make this a straight round. So let's see if we can get those two. Yep, there we go. So that looks pretty good. I'm gonna finish that one and bring it down. Now let's take a look, and I think its contours are built in. I was looking at the layers property panel. Oops, I hit it. But it doesn't show the die cut, the group, so I think it's different. But if I go to the print page, send design, it will show me the cut marks on it right here. There we go. So it's saying this one is a green one and this one is a blue. And I don't remember what the different cut marks are, but they do look right. So I'll keep those there. So let's go back to design. This one can actually be a lot bigger. If I can select it, I'll select my select tool. I'll select it in the layers panel. So I'm not sure why it's not selecting it. Maybe I have it in a weird spot. I'm not sure what I've got going on with it there. But I can move it with my arrows, so we'll do that. You'll notice the page marks turned red, so that means it's outside of that cutting area. And if I press the Control-Alt key, or Shift-Alt, or Alt-Shift, yeah, I get small arrow movements instead of large arrow movements. Okay, let's bring this guy over and up. Wow, he hasn't turned the wrong color yet. Yeah, Shift-Alt for spine movements with my arrows. Okay, next image to import. File, import. Bring in this one. This was the request by my husband. Silly kid. This is fine. I'm seeing there's some speckles here on the outside, so I'm going to bring the mask tolerance down a little, or higher, because I don't want those speckles. And there's a chance that I'm going to lose a little bit of the image, but that's okay in this case because it's fine. Now it's going to my contours, and I do want I want it that where it was 25. There we go. I'm looking to get the edges of the leaves here. So there's a balance between cutting the green off and then getting some definition in between the leaves. Okay, now this is the offset, the contour offset that I thought I was doing just a second ago, but now I'll fix that. This one's an easier one to do. That looks about good. Finish that, bring it in, move him around. And you know what? We can actually do 2 of these. So let's duplicate this guy. We're going to copy and paste. So I'm just going to do a Control C and a Control V on my keyboard. And then I'm going to rotate one so that we can make the best use of our page. And stick them right up in the corner. Hopefully they'll both fit. Oh, Alt. Shift Alt will let me align those up as close as possible. So I want to get them close, but not so close that it's going to cut off their the contour of another image. So I think I'm going to bring it down more because I'm afraid I'm going to run into this this Pokemon. Okay, there we go. Let's insert the next image. Import. Now, you know what? I am actually going to sort this by date, so all of the things that I imported or created today will show up at the top. There's Articuno. I don't know how to say these Pokemon names. So again, just re-importing, doing the same thing over and over. I'll pause the video while I bring in the rest of the images, and then we can go from there. You know what? I wanted to just make a note about this. I did uncheck the include holes and look at the difference that it makes in this image. So I'm just going to include the holes and make that offset just a little bigger. But what I really wanted to talk about was calibration while I'm bringing this one in. You probably really only need to calibrate once on your Juliet because it's sticky in a good way. The calibration is really, I'm just really impressed with the calibration on the Juliet. It's very accurate. The print and cut sticks. It's just good. So I calibrated it when I first got it. I didn't need to. I messed up the print and cut, and then I had to recalibrate it so that I had to recalibrate it so that my prints and cuts would come out cleanly again, and they did. So I'm really, really happy that it worked out well for me. But so just to let you know, it's really good print and cut. I prefer it to the Cricut. You have lots of extra steps here. The Cricut's actually added all of this. They just use different words. The words that Leonardo Design Pro is using is more in line with Adobe's products, Adobe Illustrator, more professional grade products. So that's what you're seeing in these words. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you that. So anyways, don't calibrate unless your print and cut is off. And always test, do a print and cut on plain paper before you do it on your sticker paper or your whatever, your printable vinyl or whatever you're using. So I wanted to show you something. When I hover over these other ones, their green cut line shows, and I think that's right. So I think I must have done something wrong on these two, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Let me ask my other kid if he wants any stickers because I still got half a page left. Okay, I'm just going to make them bigger to fill up the page. So I rotated this. If you press and hold your shift key, it'll go in 15-degree increments. So it's just easy way to make it go. And if you go slow, then it goes in small, but otherwise, well, maybe this software just is, yeah, if you go fast, it goes in 15-degree increment, but if you go slow, it'll go in less increments. And the turny. In the turny, because apparently that's what it's called, in the turny. I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy here, because here, we'll move him down. But I think he might not cut right, so I might have to cut him twice. That's going to be a big sticker. We'll make a couple of small bah humbug trees. So I'm just going to copy and paste this and then make it smaller. And make it a little bit bigger. And we'll do that again. Whoops, that's not going to work. Copy, paste. Maybe we need to rotate this guy this way and maybe he'll fit. Again, I'm just using my arrow keys and my Shift-Alt trick. That works in any program, Word, Excel, all of them. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's look on the Send Design and see if the cut lines look right there. Artwork that fits on the page, yes. Notice this little arrow on the bottom left corner, that's important. We'll talk about that later. Let's click send. And it looks like all of the cut lines are there. So let's go back to design and just make sure that all of my cut lines are, they say cut tool and they don't say full cut perforated. So I think that's good. This die cut group, default print. Oh, I want to cut. Oh, that's going to cut all of the pieces. We don't want to cut all of the pieces. We don't. Let's undo that. Control Z. We just want to cut. So this one's going to be, I think this one's going to print and not cut. I wonder if I can, I'm sure I could just select, well, you know what, it looks like right on the cut page, so I'm just going to try it. And I'm going to go wild and I'm going to go straight to my sticker paper, even though I just told you not to. So let's go do this. So send this to my printer and we'll go from there. So next, my cutting contours all look right. Print my artwork. That's my printer and I don't need to mirror it. My print size is going to be 8.5 by letter, 8.5 by letter, 8.5 by 11. We'll recenter it just to make it look pretty. There we go. And I can click send to printer and it should bring up the printer properties dialog box. And let me grab my printer paper. Yep, there it is. And I like to put my printer paper through my accessory tray, just because it makes me feel like I have more control over it. So that's what I do. So let's, this looks funny. So on the page setup, or it's the finishing, no, paper source. It's the right tab. Would help if I got to the right tab. Oh, my computer's being tired because I'm asking it to do way too much. Multi-purpose tray. Whoops. And for my sticker paper, I am supposed to use matte photo paper and premium coated paper and the best printer. So let's see if there's a premium coated paper in here. One-sided coated is what we'll want. And premium, so that would be back here on the finishing, if I recall. This is two-sided printing. We only want to do one-sided printing. Oh, the quality is where I want to go. We want this to be vivid photo. Graphics? No, vivid photo. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. It shouldn't print because there's nothing in that tray. And I'm so glad you don't get to see my messy office. It's embarrassing. Okay, so just make sure I'm putting the right side up on the printer, on the paper. And I need to get my mat for my Juliet. Okay, that looks great. I will show you, well, let me take a look at my other printer. Ooh, that curled a lot. I had to move my cameras, so let me figure out the best way to do this. One thing at a time. Let's switch to this camera. There we go. Okay, so here's the print, the image, and let me get my mat. I'm going to use my light grip mat. And I'm going to put that arrow in the bottom left corner of my mat. Not that it really matters which way the mat goes, but it's important to put that in the bottom left corner. There we go. And just spread that on. If I was worried about it, I would brayer it on, but I'm not. Oops, let's turn on the Siser. And oops. I was trying to make that less crooked for you. There we go, all the lights turned on and now it's really bright. Let me see if I can, well, sorry about the lighting here. Let me see if I can adjust it at all. Well, that's good enough. Okay, so here the arrow is going to be in the lower left corner. So I'm going to slide in my print, and you know what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and line this up just like I normally would. I'm going to press my lever in the back to wrap it up. But what I'm going to do is take the head, my blade, the point of the blade, and I'm going to put it right up here above the arrow, but inside of the angle, inside of the crop mark with my arrows. So I'm moving up my, and it's about in the right spot. So let's see if you can see that on the camera. You can't. So if you look, oops. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot, sorry. So see how my blade is, there we go. My blade is almost right above the arrow. The point of the blade is almost right above the arrow. But it's on the inside of the angle bracket. And I'm just moving my arrows on my display to get it in the right spot. So that's about the right spot. So it beeps when it can't find the marks, what are you calling it? The crop marks. And you need to make sure that your paper is laid out portrait or landscape, however you have it configured in your software. Okay, oops, let me try and refocus that. Sorry about that. Still not focused. Well, it's working on it. It'll do that here in a minute. Let's go back to my software here. So I printed the artwork. So I'm going to click over here to this cutting contours mat. And I'm going to make sure all of the settings are correct here. And I'm going to do send to cutter. I have it set on use cutter settings. So let me go verify my cutter settings are set correctly. I'm going to do that here on the settings tab, not settings, on cut settings. And this one is sticker with cover, because that's what I did last. And I think I just need to do the opaque print transfer, if I recall. Maybe I should put a cover on these really quick. Yep, opaque print transfer. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and press play. So now it's going to go and scan the marks, the crop marks, and see now it's beeping because it's saying, hey, I can't find it. Let's try again. So I'm going to press the back arrow on my machine. And I'm going to go ahead and realign this. And I'm going to get it closer to the corner of my crop mark of that angle. Oops, sorry. It would help if I went back to my Cricut, or to my Juliet. There we go. And I'm going to send to the cutter again. Okay, so it's going to try again to scan those marks. So it picked up one of them. Now it's going to the other corner, and it picked up those. It's going to the next corner. It got those, and it's going over to the last corner to pick up those. and I'm going to test the cut to see if it went through. It looks really good. I love how fast the Juliet cuts. I'm so sorry about the poor... So you know how your crop marks are like this? You want to put your blade about right here. I love the noises the Juliet makes. It sounds so high-tech. So even though I put these as die cut, they don't need to be. So I'm not going to worry about it too much if they are or are not. Because these are just for me. These aren't for a client or anything. Come on, Mr. Honey Pot Man. Okay, so it did the Honey Pot Man as a dashed line instead of a solid line, but that'll be just fine for what we're doing. I knew it looked funny, so there we go. And it is all done. So let's go ahead and pop it out. And I don't know if you can see the cut lines, but they're on there. And for this one, I'll have to get some scissors for that one. Oh, I guess I could have, well, I can change it and remove all of the cut lines except for that guy, and then have it just cut out one. Oh, except for I have to change the lines, and I'm not sure how to do that. But I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, that one's going to be, that's the least of my problems. The rest came out pretty well. So I guess that's it. So I hope this helped. I know I missed the important parts. I didn't miss the important parts, but you heard it error out for me. So I hope that helps and let you know that I get it in the wrong time too. So again, in the angle mark, the one with the arrow, you want it in this part of the, you want your blade to start from this location right here. Right here, I guess I could show you. So about where, you know, where your arrow points. Now, if your arrow is pointing, so I'll show you on here. On one of my prints, I did it in landscape mode, and I kept on putting the paper in portrait mode, and so it would be looking for the marks in this location rather than this location where I had them. So once I oriented my paper the right way, then it was able to find the marks, and I was able to do my print and cut. I hope this helps. I know it's not my best video, but good luck. Let me know if you have problems.